ADST is arguably the most important subject to include because it's all about taking action. It's all great to glean knowledge and information, but what if you never actually teach your child to apply that? ADST stands for Applied Design Skills and Technology. You are likely already including aspects of ADST in your homeschool, but unless you are enrolled in a homeschool academy that is guiding you through this content, you may be missing pieces that you didn't even realize. In this video, I am going to share with you the purpose behind ADST and why some people consider it the most important subject to include in your homeschool. We are also going to look at what that content actually looks like in action in your home and the differences between elementary-aged children, middle school, and high schoolers. Plus a new perspective that you may not have considered before. We are right in the middle of our curriculum series where we are talking about a new way to think about teaching each of these subject areas in our homeschools. My name is Natalie Burns, and I support homeschooling moms to create connection with your children through teaching so that you can have freedom to reflect who you are as a family. I want you to teach in a way that is a natural extension of your family values, to teach intuitively in a way that you know works for your child. Let's look at how you can do that with this application-based subject, the one that's all about the doing. The whole purpose of ADST is to look around and recognize needs that we have as individuals or as a community, and then to find ways to meet those needs. This includes considering sustainability of the resources that your child would be using. It includes safety as they develop those skills needed to go through these complex tasks. And it includes finding appropriate technology to use, adapt, or even create for that situation. This is a forward-thinking mindset, a way to look at a situation and to think about how to make that better for the future. Not only that, it's about actually getting involved and bringing about positive change in our world. In this way, ADST is about love for ourselves, love for others, and the way that we can interact really well in this world. This is the subject that takes all of those ideas that your child has and teaches them how to put them into action. It's not a sit around thinking about it type of subject, but a results-driven focus. We see all sorts of content for ADST, so I'm going to give you some ideas of how you might want to present it for the differences between elementary, middle, and high school aged children. For elementary aged children, it is great to start with an introduction to the skills associated with ADST. Skills like using scissors or typing on a computer or getting some of those great STEM kits, those science, technology, engineering, and math kits. These fine motor skills are very important to develop early on for whatever direction your child wants to take it. Because we are talking about ADST, Applied Design Skills and Technology, this is really the focus here, the application piece. And quite honestly, young children have not developed mentally yet to be mature and able to think in this applying way. Application is one of those higher levels of thinking. First, your child really needs to be able to memorize and remember information. Then they need to start to understand that information. And then after that, they are ready to apply the information. So do not expect your elementary aged child to really get onto that application piece just yet. That is a growing process in this time. Focus instead on the skill building. Do this by weaving these skills into their work with other subject areas. Consider Lego for a moment here. Many people talk about creating things with Lego, but really This is the application piece, it's not the creation level of thinking. They are actually using these tiles that were pre-made now in a new way and designing based on their understanding of the skills included with building. They're also developing skills associated with handling Lego as they are using Lego as their technology. When it comes to middle schoolers, this is when you can start to explore some of these topical ideas in a little bit more detail while still keeping a strong focus on skill building. The topics here include computational thinking, computers and communication devices, digital literacy, drafting, entrepreneurship and marketing, food studies, media arts, metalwork, power technology, robotics, textiles, and woodworking. As you consider these different topics here, think about how you could potentially weave these in with other subject areas. ADST pairs effortlessly with the subject of art, especially when it comes to that applied design aspect of this and how the actual production of this design is an artistic expression in and of itself. If you are not into thinking about another subject to tie in here, then you may want to consider approaching ADST from more of a mastery approach. So all at one time in maybe a week or a month focus on a particular project. Let's say, for example, they want to sew a dress. Start with designing the dress and then prototyping that dress, then actually creating, adjusting, and then getting to that end result, all while developing those skills around measurement and stitching and working with fabric and using technology all the way from scissors to the sewing machine. Then for high schoolers, this is when we can start to stretch them to think a little bit more deeper here. Each year, they can pick just one of these main focus areas and unpack that in greater detail. These topic areas include business education, home economics, information and communications technology, and technology education. Let's take a quick look at each of those subtopics in these categories and see what your child is most drawn to. Business education includes accounting, e-commerce, economics, entrepreneurship, marketing, and tourism. Home economics and culinary arts includes child development, culinary arts, family studies, fashion industry, food studies, and textiles. Information and communications technology includes computer information systems, computer programming, media design, graphic design, web development, and digital communication. And technology education includes art, metal and jewelry, automotive technology, drafting, electronics and robotics, engineering, metalwork, power technology, and woodwork. Make this really relevant to your high schooler by tying in current events. Take the example of Neuralink and how that would affect communities where some are able to now connect their brains with the internet and others are not. How would that affect the opportunities that different people have? How does that affect social status? How does that affect the way that people are able to communicate with one another? Your teenager is now ready to not just think about what is being done with ADST, but now why that is impactful and how that creates a ripple effect in our communities. Let's now look at how to view ADST from a slightly different perspective. There is a lot of forward thinking and advancement when it comes to technology these days. So what if you are not interested in that? What if you are interested instead to live more of an old-fashioned life on purpose? Maybe advances like moving from prosthetics to transhumanism isn't something that you are as excited about as other people are. Let me propose a different way of thinking about ADST. I alluded at the beginning that this is all about coming together in community and interacting well with one another. This does not need to include putting wires in our brains. This could be as simple as creating a pulley system so that you can do laundry from an upper level. ADST is about improving our lives as individuals and as a collective. And we can do that in a simple, sustainable, and safe way. Someone who really enjoys the country life may want to tackle this subject by looking at a pond that is not very accessible to animals and having their child, for their ADST project, create a pump system that can bring the water from that pond to the field where the animals are. They go through the designing, the prototyping, the adjustments, and then the final product. They design this and then they apply that through skills and using different technologies, even if that's just a hammer, to affect positive change in their lives. Or it could be as simple and silly as finding a way to turn off that light switch over there while you're still lying in bed. These are the ideas that inspire us, because it is when we put our thoughts into action that we can actually enjoy fulfillment. I want to support you when it comes to subjects like this, where you know what you want to be doing, but you're not really quite sure or comfortable yet how to put that into action in a way that your child is going to connect to. Check out the subject management system that I created for you. You can use this as a checklist to ensure that you're including all of the subject areas. Use it as a big picture planning tool. Use it as a forward planner by creating your own tasks right in there. Or use it as a reverse planner to log what actually got done. If you are finding this curriculum series encouraging or inspiring, then I want to personally invite you to hit that subscribe button and join us on a regular basis. I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.